Welcome back, gamers. Pardon my abstinence. It's been a little while, but I've been under the weather if you can't tell by my voice. But we're getting there, and I've got something new for you guys to check out that you might be interested in or might not be. It really depends on what it is, because I'm not 100% sure. Let me go through what I've got here, and we'll keep an open mind on the rest. A couple of days ago, I was followed on X by a developer called Madfinger Games. Whenever I see something like that, whenever I see a developer follow me, I've got to check out their profile and see what they're up to, see what they're making. Turns out they're creating a game. I know, what are the odds? But then they ended up sending me some information early, as well as a trailer to check out that you're watching in the background here. Previously, these guys have only focused on mobile games. These are the titles that they've created. I am absolutely oblivious to the mobile scene. I don't know anything about it, so these might be good, they might not be. I don't know, mobile gamers, tell me down below. I tried to ask them a few questions about their game, but they didn't really want to talk too much about it for some reason. They didn't want to answer specific questions. They wanted to stick to the script. So I'm going to tell you what they've sent me, but we're still left in the dark on a lot here. So take everything that you hear with a grain of salt, I guess. This project is called Gray Zone Warfare, and it has no affiliation with my gray supplements or coffee. I had nothing to do with that, but you should definitely check that out anyway. So this is the description they sent me here. Gray Zone Warfare is an immersive tactical PvEVP first-person shooter with a maximum focus on realism. Become a part of a private military company and navigate an expansive open-world setting alone or in a squad. Adapt to your surroundings, use tactics to your advantage, and fight for survival against other human operators and AI-controlled enemies. So that's what they sent me. That's the description of their game. I don't know if that means it's an extraction shooter. I don't know if it just means it's a full open world, but you know, we're going to go through some of that here based on some of the creator information that they've given me. The game is set in a fictional Asian country called Lamang, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a 42 squared kilometer map that has helicopters that you can utilize to move throughout the open world, or you could just walk all those kilometers on foot because 42 doesn't sound too bad, and you don't know how far kilometers are compared to miles. I don't know. Also, I apologize if you hear my daughter talking in the background. She doesn't want to sleep and I'm working in the morning. Anyway, the game is focused on realistic elements, including the gunplay and the medical system, which appear to be somewhat like Tarkov. So it appears they take a lot of inspiration from that, but the animation systems for both of these actually look pretty good, so I'll give them that. The game is said to have what they call a mature story, where you'll encounter a colorful cast of characters and have to complete numerous missions. According to this, you've got to navigate the web of lies, decide who you can trust, and expose the truth. Nothing black and white, only different shades of gray. I do not know what that means, but I assume there's some sort of bigger story going on. I don't know how that's going to feed into gameplay or if that's just for lore purposes. There will be an in-depth customization system, both with weapons and gear. Tactical Barbie is always a green check in my book. And then that's about all I know. That's the information available as far as in writing, as you've seen on screen. Now we can glean some extra information from the trailer here, and I'm going to go through that. But to me, this sounds like a mix between the game Deadside and Escape from Tarkov. The game is going to be run on Unreal Engine 5, so hopefully performance and graphics will be pretty decent, which it does look pretty good, but it also reminds me a lot of Ghost Recon, I guess, the first-person Ghost Recon. I don't know if it's going to play like that, but a first-person Ghost Recon with PvP elements involved could be pretty good. All right, but we'll hop into the trailer here. I want to point out some things, and then I'll give my thoughts at the end, which, spoiler alert, aren't a lot. So devs, maybe a little bit more content and understanding of the gameplay loop. Is this an extraction shooter? Is it merely a survival shooter where I've got a base build? Is it a DayZ style of gameplay flow? Even knowing this step-by-step gameplay loop would have been greatly appreciated. So if you can get that information out, you should probably do that sooner rather than later. But gamers, I'll let you know if this game gets more information. But okay, let's get into the trailer. Let's break it down. All right, flying in here, the graphics, they look actually really, really good. You can see the movement there. I'm going to pause it. You can see the movement there looks, you know, just a little stiff. But look at this environment. Look at all the shrubbery around. This is actually pretty wild if the game runs like that. It says up in the corner, actual pre-alpha gameplay. I will only see better. So I don't know about that. A lot of times the optimization takes a lot of that away, but this is what it looks like. And even the movements that even though they look stiff, the greenery, the environment looks fantastic, even with the buildings coming up there. So it looks like you can load in with your buddies, with some friends. You have that helicopter infill that I was talking about. I don't know if it's an infill that you're infilling from like a base or whether you stay in the map continuously. I don't exactly know how that's going to go. I don't I just don't know. Like, are you just moving from place to place on the map? Anyway, let's keep going. All right, as you can see, you know, got good animations. They pulling out, check the mag. That's obviously a feature in this game to see how much ammunition you have left. It looks like it's very minimal HUD. And there's a bunch of different weapons that you'll see throughout this. Again, I apologize for my voice. It's just, it ain't working, but we're making it work. Great environment here. All right, let's stop here. I want to take a look at some of this screen and just what pops out to me. Some of the gear, you've got the M4, and then you've got the Glock 17. So they're apparently using real names, a Glock. Looks a lot like Tarkov to me, this does. You've got your gear, you've got the stuff, I think this is in your backpack, the loads. You've got headsets, you've got different things for health, blood, hydration, energy, weight. What else is there? Intoxication and radiation. So apparently there are gases and there's radiation that you have to be aware of. There's this neat little box over here is that the secure container? Don't really know. You've got food, you've got water, you've got extra magazines. This guy's only carrying a couple. And you've got stuff on the ground there. You've got food and gauze on the ground there to pick up. So gonna be interesting, I guess, if this is like another Tarkov clone or just a different kind of Tarkov with a Ghost Recon aspect to it, to where it's actually open world. I don't know. We'll just have to see. No entry zone. So let's go back to that no entry zone. My guess is this is where there's a lot of hostile enemies. Maybe there's some gas here or something like that. That's probably a symbol of like a gang or something like that, or a militia. And because you're going to have enemy AI here where they engage with in just a second. So you'll see some of that. They're sneaking up. I don't know. I'm going to pause it here. Enemy AI are very, very, very difficult to get to a fun, playable level. I was just playing Dead Side the other day, and those AI are actually absolutely off the charts. Like, they can see you from 500 meters away. They start shooting through the trees. It's absolutely ridiculous. This here looks like it's going to be a little bit more stealthy. I'm going to assume these are AI. I don't think players would actually walk like this or do anything like that. But I don't know. We'll see how those engagements go. The difference between, let's say, this and like Hunt Showdown with zombies everywhere, or something with animals, DayZ with animals and stuff, zombies, it's a lot harder to program to be fun and to not get shot halfway across the map. That was one of the big things with the DMZ as well, is when they initially dropped it, the bots were ridiculous. So that's one of those things we won't know until we play it. The gun sounds are good, though I will say, looking through the optics there, are a little bit just not, it looks off, right? It looks like you're seeing too much of the optic. I don't know, I wish I had more of a ground branch feel to it, because he also pulls it up really close to his eye. Like, that's really close, and you can see the whole tube down it. Maybe that's how it's really supposed to go, but it kind of detracts from that, and as close as he's holding it to his face, it's almost a little bit unnatural to me, but whatever. Now you can see he gets hit there. I'm not a big fan of this animation. I was thinking that when I watched it the first time. It's just really abnormal. It's like when he gets hit, his arm moves. It just is unnatural. But that's something, obviously this is very early development, that's going to be fixed. That's probably not even worth mentioning, really. Then you can see that the health animations, he's putting on a tourniquet there, and that's pretty cool. Those animations are pretty legit. If you put those, if you do that, you bandage, you do all that stuff, that could be a pretty immersive experience. So maybe that'll be good. Taking pills, drinks, food, and that map looks pretty good. I mean, you've got the fields. I believe these are like rice fields, right? Yeah, those would be rice fields. And this is a 42-kilometer map, so this is probably just a very small section of it that you can bring a helicopter in. But that's a lot of shrubbery on the outside, because you can walk the whole map according to what this says. So that's a lot of shrubbery, and things could get wild. But again, I don't know if it's just an instance thing where you extract to a base or what. So you will see. You've got a bunch of weapons, different customization options, which is awesome. You got the tactical sprint there. That looks decent. Reload looking good. Yep, just continued stuff. I mean, I don't really have much more to say on it, I guess. That is the gray zone warfare. All right, my final thoughts here, my final opinion. Are you ready for it? I don't know. Seriously, I have no idea what to think of this whole thing. A first-person Ghost Recon style of game could be really, really cool. I know loot can be lost, so I don't know if you are extracting loot or if you're going to a specific safe spot on the map like Deadside. I don't know how that all plays into this story. But if you want to follow the game and wishlist it and follow along, obviously subscribe. But the game also just opened access to their Steam page, so you can wishlist that down below. Again, I'll keep you posted if I hear any more, as well as if I get my hands on some gameplay, which is always, always appreciated. I don't know, guys. What do you think? What are your thoughts here? Let me know down below. I'm just kind of at a loss for what exactly this is, and it's not really ideal for making a video, but it's something new. They sent it to me, and I can release it at 11 a.m. this morning. So here you go. I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next one, gosh, I hope I'm feeling better. Be bold, be courageous, stay gray.